Hey there, Cancer. It's Heather. Good to see you again. Welcome back to Woke.Ones.Revolution. Appreciate you stopping by. Came in because I know it's been a while and I wanted to go ahead and talk about September, go over some horoscope. It's eclipse season, y'all. So, this is something that is going to be affecting all of us. So figured we better dive into that. We're also going to go ahead and lay down some tarot for you guys, kind of mix it up a little bit. And I wanted to thank you guys for all of your support. I know that I've taken quite a bit of time off, gradually dipping back in, been dealing with some personal matters and huge life changes. So, thanks for hanging with me. While you're here, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you like it, and bookmark it if you want to come back for more. We'd love to have you back over here. So we're going to go ahead and move right into September, y'all. Can't believe we're already in September. This year has absolutely blown by. And yeah, eclipse season is upon us. And luckily, even though we've got some super powerful skies, I think it should be pretty smooth transitions for you cancers. So let's dive in. On September the 7th, we're going to have a Pisces lunar eclipse happening at 15 degrees Pisces. And so you'll want to identify where this is at on your chart, what house it's falling in. I am going to go ahead and go over the house, but look and see if you have any personal planets or points by that, because if so, you will be impacted all that much heavier. And then on September 21st, we're going to have a Virgo solar eclipse coming in at 29 degrees Virgo. So, this Pisces lunar eclipse, it's going to close out some doors that on things and people, situations that have been draining us, right? Like keeping us from moving forward, distracting us, while the Virgo solar eclipse is actually going to open up new pathways that are definitely going to require and demand our focus and discipline, and but it's going to help us align with our purpose. For every door that closes, a new one opens. And I would say don't expect to notice anything immediate. Some of you will have some, depending on your placements, will have some immediate realizations and endings, seeing as the first eclipse is a lunar one. But looks like for you guys, the Cancers, the Pisces lunar eclipse is going to be activating your ninth house. Okay, so that's your higher beliefs. Your belief system, it's higher learning, university, it's publishing, it's long distance travel. You may notice that some of the old belief systems, doctrines that you have gone by just aren't really serving you anymore. Same thing for mentors or even things that you've been studying or learning. You're just finding, or you're either wrapping it up, or some of you could be, starting university after graduating high school. That's another thing that might be, raising this raising this change here. But yeah, I mean, you're going to discover that you guys are going to going on a new vision quest, and or even a new philosophy or way of life may be calling you to leave these outdated ideals that you've been holding on to for way too long. I know a lot of people are waking up, and cancers are no different. We've had a lot. Cancers have had a lot going through there, and with Jupiter, the planet of beliefs, which is also kind of a ninth house vibe. It's all about integrating, closing things out so that you can open up new paths to help you realize your next step, your next. But I do, as always, like to talk to you guys about the Sabian symbol and the Chandra symbol. I don't know if you realize this, but I always do the written horoscopes on the new and full moons. Those I post on the community page of the Woke.Ones.Revolution channel. So you'll notice that in those I always include my Sabian and Chandras. So keep an eye out on those for every couple weeks when we have our new and full moons, and it'll help you keep tabs on the energies for those cycles. Now, the Sabian symbol, as written by Dane Rujar, is in the quiet of a study, a creative individual experiences a flow of inspiration. On the same note, James Burgess, another one of my favorites, quote cites, and don't forget we round up to 16 from 15 degrees Pisces. So cites 16 Pisces of inspiration, finding grace and stillness, connecting to the here and now with the eternal. Beautiful and very fitting for the Pisces energy, right? And so with that, I mean, it does speak to that Pisces energy of creativity, of going deep within, meditation, contemplation, that allows you to unlock the unconscious a bit and create from that space. So, Pisces is also, my goodness, it's dreams, it's fantasy, it's illusion and disillusionment. It's, um, unfortunately, sometimes it's a house of it's a house of endings, but it's also the house of, it's a karmic house. It's a house that you'll see people self-undoing in. That's kind of one of the bad things. So maybe some of you guys are going to be releasing some of those self-undoing patterns that have been inhibiting you from moving forward in your belief system and kind of keeping you stuck, and or being afraid to take a jump into something new. So those two symbols are very fitting. That talks about going within and just connecting with your higher self, and Pisces, that is very much spirituality, right? Like the true inner unlocking of your being and your core value, um on a soul level. So Elias Lonsdale does Chandra symbols, and you can find those under the inside his the writing of Inside Degrees. Elias quotes 16 Pisces as a peaceful child on a narrow ledge that overlooks a precipice. Fate has set the pattern. You are held fast by fate, yet inwardly you are so deeply and fundamentally free. The inner life is boundlessly rich. The outer life is starkly poor. But you live within. Make good on the past. Cleanse and open. And know that nothing is as it seems, and form is tissue then. Oh, that it is. That it is. So, I mean, if you kind of blend those Sabians that I read you mixed in with that Chandra symbol, I mean, it really just teaches you that inspiration doesn't really come from chasing those far out distant horizons, but from the stillness of your inner faith. The old ideologies are going to dissolve so that your personal philosophy can grow. You release the belief that wisdom is somewhere out there. It's really answers that you're going to find flowing within, in those moments of silence when you're really tapped into yourself, reshaping how, and it's also going to help you reshape the way in which you share this knowledge with others, right? It's always an interchange, that polarity point. So I hope that helps you with the Pisces lunar eclipse. Let's go ahead and move forward and talk a little more about the Virgo solar eclipse. This is happening on September 21st in your guys' third house, Cancer. So this eclipse, the opposite of the ninth house is the third house, right? And the solar eclipse is going to activate everything around communication, writing, local travel, your mindset, um, fresh new beginnings in how you communicate, how you learn, and how you connect with your local environment, right? Um, so that's also the house of siblings, of I want to say it's siblings, cousins. Like with that, you may notice some new beginnings opening up there. And if you're talking about the third house, ninth house axes, and the Virgo solar eclipse being a new moon, this is going to spark something new that it's going to unfold over time. It's not something you're going to recognize immediately, but it's time to go ahead and take that first step if you haven't already. Start exploring. That's all the third house, ninth house access, whether it's physically or metaphorically, you know, traveling. Letting your mind explore. And if you're if you're a writer, or creator, or even I say even musicians, but it's yeah, the third house, ninth house talks about that international, like local international publishing. It can speak to online forums and blogs, and maybe some of you are going to start, doing some writing, and starting even your own little community based things based on your belief or the things that you have been diving in and exploring. So that's something that you can notice unfolding over time. Just go hard on it. I'd say go hard on it for 6 months, and see where it leads you. So the interpretation as cited by Dane Rujar for the Sabian symbol. And for those that don't know, I guess I should already have elaborated on this. The Sabian symbol basically helps identify the tone of the degree. Like what vibe is that degree of the zodiac bringing in, so that when we're looking at all these astrological transits when they're happening, or in this case an eclipse, we can look to the degree point and find the overall theme that impacts everyone, right? And where and how it plays out in everybody's charts different. However, the underlying theme is the same. So we're going to round up to 30 Virgo. Dane Rujar says, totally intent upon completing an immediate task. A man is deaf to any allurement. All right, there's that going back into that focus, right? So, as James Burgess states, Virgo 30 is a false call unheard. All right, no distractions. Penetrative concentration of attention, and having journeyed far and wide to find the gate to the secret garden, we must strike boldly and not be distracted by anything in any realm. So rejecting the false through unusual power of concentration. That's very much speaks to Virgo, and this eclipse is happening on an anaretic degree. It is the most potent degree of Virgo, next to 0. 29 is a degree of completion, of closure, of endings. It is wrapping that sign up before moving into 0 degrees of the next sign, right? So with that, it is very potent. And keep in mind, if you're not into astrology, I'll tell you, so then you know. Currently, the South Node is in Virgo, okay, and the North Node is in Pisces. So you'll notice I've already talked about a Pisces eclipse, and for those of you that aren't aware, eclipses happen within striking distance and or direct hits of lunar nodes, and these are considered the nodes of fate. So the South Node is something that we're moving away from. Right, we're the Virgo solar eclipse in the third house creates a bit of a a tricky dynamic because you've mastered it. If if you're talking about the 30th degree of a sign or 29th degree of a sign, you've, it's something that it has quite a comfortable hold to be able to overanalyze yourself or a situation or yeah, I want to call it like beating a dead horse. Virgo can be micromanaging, it could be hypercritical, it can be, I mean, it is organized and all of those things. So when we say the south node is things you're supposed to let go of, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? You got to take the good with the bad. Everything has a polarity, light, dark, right? So the light side of Virgo that maybe you can hold on to from that south node, and then moving forward into this eclipse to your new beginning would be a good example would be not allowing the hyper the hyper focus. You can be hyper focused, but don't let it keep you frozen, right? Don't overanalyze to the point to where you're actually not moving forward on a project, right? um, the south node in Virgo and the north node in Pisces would guide one to be more in touch with that inner desire, that inner creative that wants to move forward, that wants to create, and not be bothered by all the particulars, right? So, with this Virgo solar eclipse happening in your third house, if you have been working on something or working locally, in a community setting, and you're wanting to branch out, if you're wanting to see about maybe getting published, but you don't think it's good enough. You're good enough. Your work's good enough. Stop doing the overanalyzing and trust and have faith with that North Node in Pisces that this new beginning is ripe for the picking. We're in very fated times. That's why they're called the nodes of fate. Very fated times with these eclipses being in anaretic degrees. And I definitely want to see all of you um, be, use this time to your advantage. Things are going to be, a lot's been changing this year. It's been going really fast, but things are about to slow down significantly. However, with Uranus moving into Gemini like it has this last month, um, it's going to be there for several years, and things are going to get loud. Communications are going to be, it could turn into a tower card moment in just a second. That's the Uranus energy, is the tower card in the tarot. So, communications are going to be loud, maybe even a little bombastic, shocking, revelatory. So, this Virgo solar eclipse in your third house, you're going to have some big revelations. Let's put it that way, right? And you're going to see some big changes in the way that you're able to communicate. You're going to be leveling up here. So, definitely take advantage of that. Let me give you real quick. I'll hurry up and move forward so we can get to the tarot because I know y'all want it. I'm going to read Elias Lonsdale's interpretation with the Chandra symbol for Virgo 30. Super sensible beings manifesting through geometric forms. Sacred geometry inscribes the pattern of the world going through its great shifts, its quantum leaps. If you learn to stand back and be within the greater archetypal motions, you'll find yourself being placed in perfect strategic positions and exquisitely rightful initiations and assignments. The transparency of things is superlative to behold. You're called to serve the highest, to respect and honor all manifestations, to be there for everybody. Interior steadfast and in place of implicability, knowing the law, the code, the way, magnificent and applying vaster awareness to life's particular detailed variations on the theme of how everything fits together perfectly and is woven by divine design. The fine tuned sensibility of the master craftsman, particularly adept in staying modest, unadorned, and straight on. It is the exemplar of the way. It is done when you know who you are and how things are around here. And when you see it coming through every jeweled detail with little lost in the translation. Wow. You know within, it really is just trust. Let go of the need for the control, of how everything turns out. Uranus, one of the blessings of Uranus and Gemini, being mixed in with this energy for you guys in this eclipse season. It it is for the greater good. All these tower moments happen, and endings happen so that new beginnings can happen. Uranus's vibe is very much of quick genius, quick inspiration, quick solutions to answers. If we're talking about third house, that's also the mind, right? So I wouldn't even be, as you guys being a water sign, I would not doubt it if you notice that some of your intuitive gifts are leveling up in a way that allow you to express in a more clear, definite, um, creative way. So if you're creative, definitely run with it for sure. If you've got challenges within family, I say family, but I just talked about because it was siblings and cousins, right? Like that's the vibe for your third house. If it's a communication block, maybe that block will be dropped, and you guys will find a new. If it's with siblings, find a new way to communicate and work around barriers of belief system issues between each other. So that was a lot. How about some tarot, y'all? Let's switch the video over and get that off of there. All right. So I hope you all have been doing well. I know that it's been one crazy summer for sure. Personally, I have been, you know, doing some healing, doing a lot of thinking, um, you know, working on me. I had to get myself right before I come right and try to help you all out. But things are doing okay. They're doing good. I'm excited about a lot of the changes that are happening and coming down. And trying to stay away from the doom and gloom scrolling on social media and all that jazz. But speaking of, while I'm shuffling up here for Cancer to read the tarot for September of 2025 eclipse season, do want to let you all know that the information to book a personal reading with myself or with Miriam or with both of us is in the channel description, is also going to be in the description of this video. So feel free to check it out. Miriam and I are offering a limited time offer to book a reading with the both of us at once. Well, you have a choice between two. You get 75 minutes with us, and between her and I, working when we work together, our psychic and intuitive channels like literally just they click and they amplify. It's kind of cool. I actually studied that even on our human design charts. We kind of fill all those gates for each other. So we're pretty much like a big old amplifier and signal beacon whenever psychic beacon whenever we're together. So you get 75 minutes with us, either reading tarot, pretty much ask away for all that time, and or paired where we both dive into your natal chart and go through and hit your natal chart for you. I'll answer questions about transits and upcoming things, whatever you got, throw it at us. So yeah, the information on that to book through our Acuity calendar is available there on the channel description. So again, want to thank you, and I'll stop running my mouth so I can tap into Cancer energy for September. Okay. What's Spirit got for Cancer? September 2025 for Cancer. I was meditating on Cancer before I started the video, and I had set out some stuff for the Virgo eclipse and the Pisces lunar eclipse. Just kind of meditating on it. It was like chatty, very, very chatty. A lot of talking going on. Some big stuff went, like some big stuff going down and feeling, everybody's like, what's going on? What's going on with Cancer? What's going on with Cancer? Ooh. All right, there we got it. I said, what's going on with Cancer? Got my goosebumps all spiked up. We're good. All right, so Cancer. What advice do we have for Cancer? September 2025. Well, talk, 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 talk. Got 3 cards right off the bat. 8 of Swords coming in, Cancer. You've been doing some worrying, have you? That's it. It makes sense. 3rd house. Knight of Pentacles. Focusing on slow growth, focusing on consistency. We also got the Wheel of Fortune. It came out in reverse. All right. Underside of the deck. Coming in with that. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Talking about that wheel. You know, I just got this sudden feeling all of a sudden of time, of time, resources, worrying about, well, how am I going to do this, that, and the other thing? And how am I going to continue to work and focus on all these other things that I have going on? And, you know, feeling like you either don't have the time to put in the work or that you don't have the resources or lack of, like a feeling of lack of, um, maybe even lack of knowledge of the field that, you know, how you would move forward into the next. I'm hearing for you guys, Cancer, it's probably time, especially in the 3rd, 9th house axis. I'm getting new learning modalities. Okay, so if I'm hearing specifically AI, if any of you have had haven't really explored AI as a potential outlet to help you with your creative flow, I highly recommend it. It's not scary, definitely a great time to embrace it. And it's, you know, it's okay. I just heard, and you don't have to worry about it not being original. You can still use AI and be very original. So please dissuade that belief system. Okay, that's something you want to maybe push out with that Pisces full moon eclipse. Okay. Um, there we go. Let me move forward for Gemini. Show me outside influences, please. September 2025. Well, that was very quick. All right. So the first card I got for Cancer is the King of Swords in reverse for outside influence and the Queen of Swords in the upright. Okay. That's outside influence, and show me a little more about how it's going to wrap up. Oh, the underside, to clarify that Queen of Swords energy was the Queen of Cups. That's, you know, I definitely see you. You're looked upon very highly. I think that some people might be looking at you as if yeah, I'm getting a dissuasion against how do I say this? I almost see a negative energy coming in around again, it's the thought patterns. Maybe somebody is looking inward at it with a bit of jealousy, with a bit of envy, with a bit of I'm just getting that south. I just got thrown the south node, even though it's a King of Swords. Like I just got shown by my guides the south node. Like it popped up in my face. So there's there's people that don't know. I mean, not everybody knows what's in your head or what you're capable of, right? But somebody might not agree with what it is that you're certain of with that Queen of Swords. I mean, that's look at how certain she is, right? And these swords, all these swords that we're getting is very much, um, that third house energy. That vibe of its air sign, it's thinking, it's hypercritical. But in this one, I see, there's other people coming and looking at you like you know what you're doing. You're being guided, you're letting your intuition guide you, and that's exactly where you need to be with this. Let's go ahead and look at the outcome, please. What can Cancer look forward to here? Advice. Okay. I did get the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, okay, for something here. So it is very likely that you may have a bit of a closure, and this did come out with the Lovers card in reverse. It looks like some of you may be going through a ending in the family life, okay? So, there may be a riff and the Lovers card. I mean, this is the Gemini card. It came out in reverse. We got the Ten of Cups in reverse. Third house, ninth house. There may be some rifts when it comes to family dynamics. There may be a breakup. There may be a divorce. And that very well could be that outside influence of, the king in reverse and the queen in the upright. Maybe this new beginning is, letting go of some toxic, I want to say almost narcissistic behavior or attitude from somebody that's been holding you back. From being able to step forward into this. Maybe you have a spouse or a family member or a friend that does not agree with whatever belief system that you're in, you know not the one that you inherited, not the one that you're conditioned with. Maybe they're seeing that you've maybe changed your beliefs on something. Could be political. It very well could just be spiritual, but maybe they don't agree with it. However, you do have people that do see the vision with you. It's just a matter of finding those people. The third house, you may even have people in your local area that you can team up with that do have a similar vision as to what you have here, right? So I mean, I don't, again, endings happen to open up new beginnings. And it doesn't mean that, although it is, probably, things hurt. You've been worrying about it. It's something that's been taking up a lot of your time. The nodes of fate are here. And you know what? It's not always a win-lose, right? It's just it is what it is, okay? If if anything, take the lessons. If you want to look at, a different way of viewing something, you know, take it back. Look at the lessons that have been learned and the dynamic that you've been dealing with. You know, disappointments, what you deem as losses. It doesn't it doesn't dictate what your next outcome will be. Lessons are lessons, right? And they all help us move into level up in life. We can't make better choices if there's not anything to base the next choice off of to even try to make it better, if that makes sense. I do wish you guys the best. I'm going to break out the oracle cards now. So we're going to move into the Sacred Rebels Oracle, and then we'll do another from the Shaman's Oracle next. Okay, let's see here. Sacred Rebels Oracle. This was my first Oracle deck I ever had. I want to say it was 2018 when I got this one. I absolutely love it, but it is kind of wordy. However, the advice is always very sound. We need to tap in here, please. Cancer looks to have a bit of a difficult September. And when I say difficult, it could just be a little difficult to navigate because this time period is very much about taking a stand and moving into your next without anybody else's need for approval. Authenticity is so important, and you've been being held back, and it's causing quite a bit of anxiety. And I know you're ready to let that go. You really are. Let's see what advice we have here. And I immediately got a card. In the world, not of the world. Card number 34. Look at that. In the world, not of the world. Card number 34. All right. Let's get going on that. Underside of the deck. What you want wants you. And it's got the spirals of manifestation. That's funny. This 34 was the card number on this one, and 16 was the card number on this one. Both of those in numerologies are sevens. So, yeah. And I just got shown in my mind's eye the Seven of Cups. Choices, options. So maybe even with this Queen of Swords, and the third house, ninth house, if there's something that's keeping you stuck, that is taking from you in a way that's making you feel like you can't move forward. I know I mentioned maybe reaching out locally, but I'm getting again the Seven of Cups to look at the options. Look at the options around. Look online. Explore different communities that are in the similar field that you're interested in. You don't know how to do something, you need to learn something, start watching some different YouTube videos, start reading some books about it, talking with AI about it, to try to help you soundly and feel a little more confident in your next steps. All right, let's step into 34. In the world, not of the world, my Cancers. Let's see. Oh, I better get my specs on here. 34. Oh, yeah. And of course, it is wordy. So hang with me, folks. I said it's wordy. It is. All right. It is safe for you to become naked with life. It doesn't necessarily mean stripping off and running wild in public. It does mean stripping back your beliefs, strongholds, and mental or emotional security blankets so that you can live with a less obstruction than before. Imagine the conditioning that has kept life away from you, just kept dropping it out of your hands like keys, coins, or clocks. Conditioned beliefs about money, time, security, having, locking away, holding, and controlling what can be surrendered and allowed to fall away. What it what would it be like to feel as though you were on a holiday every day? Perhaps there would be a softening in your way of life, an implicit trust in its flow, and faith in the ability of time to bend and stretch as needed so that all may be accomplished. It is at an advanced stage of our spiritual relationship with life that we're able to feel held within it sufficiently enough to surrender our defenses layer by layer and to nakedly accept what is. This oracle comes as a message to you. Sometimes we need our defenses. At other times, it's clear that we're outgrowing them. There is something that you've outgrown, and it has to do with your ideas about productivity, time, control, and money. It has to do with abundance, trust, and living on the fundamental belief that everything is going to turn out okay. You are ready to be much more vulnerable and exposed in life. You don't have to hide behind being organized, perfect, or in control or financially secure and stable, nor do you need any other acceptable social face. It's time for you to loosen the strings of your own controlling nature. They are too tight and too restrictive for you, anyways. You were born to live in a much freer way. And when you live as you innately are, rather than how you've been conditioned to be, you'll experience greater joy, freedom, and support. When you're not resisting yourself and resisting life, there's less resisting what you need as it comes to you. If you have also, let's see, that was with something else. Let's see. Well, basically, you're just being guided to trust. So if you have also drawn with the trust yourself, we didn't draw with that one. That's funny that this book does that. So I guess that was pretty much it on that one. It was like if you drew these other two cards with it, then blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it is what it is. That's very true, and it's funny, like literally it was touching base on the whole belief system thing. So when I say funny, that's just how this works, right? Like I didn't draw a different card. That one's the one that popped. And yes, it's specific to you and specific to needing to let go of some worries, outdated beliefs that are no longer serving you. And yeah, just trusting that what wants you. Trusting that what you want wants you. Mm. All right. So let's see. Shaman's Dream Oracle. What do we have for Cancer? Immediately. All right. Well, I didn't even have to go through that one. Oh, okay. It gave me two of them. It gave me Netcaster and Fortune's Will, Luck and the Right Timing. I'm going to read Fortune's Will because it's the one that I saw, and this was stuck to the bottom of it. So, Fortune's Will, Luck and Right Timing, card number 23. Man, that really is a pretty card. The underside of the deck, fitting enough for Cancer. A tidy house, clarity and organization, number one. All right, card number 23 is a 5, which is very kind of the energy of this reading. I mean, it is. It's kind of like the center of the seesaw, right? Like it's has to make a move, but it's ready, you know. Fortune's Will, Luck and Right Timing. Okay. And I like that other one, going back to the other oracle, it was talking about the letting go, like, and letting go of control of how everything works out. Like I had already said that in your reading, but it does have very much to do with letting go of that stronghold of that south node that's in Virgo, and opening it up with the solar eclipse. All right, so Fortune's Will, Luck, and Right Timing. A turn of fortune. So, and you also had the wheel here too, I might state in the reading. You did have the Wheel of Fortune. It was showing in reverse. So that's probably adding on to this here to tell you a little more about that. Okay, so the Fortune's Wheel is a sign that luck has found the right timing in your life. You have the magic touch. And everything turns to gold. There's nothing you can do wrong. You only need to hold what you desire as your intention, and it becomes true. Do not waste this power on trifling things. Dream big, for surely this opportune moment will pass. Such is the nature of the Fortune's Will. Use the creative power of the Fortune's Will for the benefit of others, and the gifts will be returned to you tenfold. Isn't that the truth? Use it only for your own gain, and you will be left impoverished. impoverished with the bitter taste of squandered opportunity. Fortune's will comes unannounced. Notice the early signs, the coincidental encounters, the seemingly magical and synchronous events that herald its arrival. That call, email, that invitation, that chance encounter was no accident, and they were all choreographed by fortune. Do not wait any longer. Carpe diem, seize the day. Recall your boldest and noblest longing and invite it into your life. This invitation is all that is required. Wow. Okay. So that just said that, and that really fits in line too, like with maybe even just getting a text message or an email. That's very much third house energy, third, ninth house energy. So keep an eye out. It looks like this person right there may actually be that one giving the call. For the call of fortune to offer you an opportunity, a collaboration, advice, that thing, that nugget that you've been looking for to help guide you and move you forward. So, my lovely Cancers, thank you so much again for sticking with me. For those of you that are still here, I hope that you've enjoyed this and that this helps you through September. Drop those intrusive thoughts. Let them go, those worries. What other people think of you is none of your damn business, Cancer. I love you, and I hope you have a beautiful month. Till next time, keep shining your light.